Welcome to the video where I want to show you my recently finished book, Around the World by R.Hampson. In this book we travel together with Mr. Fogherty and Snail. Surprisingly, here I even colored the title page. It's a rare thing for me, but I think that this lovely title page gives a nice introduction to the whole book. In this book I mostly use polychromos pencils, from time to time Prismacolors also, but because we have small details I prefer polychromos. And mostly I did marker backgrounds. This page I decided not to color, simply because I already collected many books by R.Hampson with huge amount of lovely pictures to do, so of course rather than doing this one, I prefer something slightly more interesting. Maybe one day I will finish it, but honestly I prefer to concentrate on really inspiring pictures. This map is very lovely. It reminds us about clock which we need to find on each page, and also lovely portraits of all the characters in the book. So here there is clock, the first page, and that's where I discovered that markers, my Ohuhu markers, they behave quite well on this page, but you need to work rather quickly and consistently. What I mean is that I tried to do this background, kind of wallpaper behind the clock, and I almost finished it when I got a call I had to answer, and this stop, it costed me this stain. I think that I masked it, but well, after that I tried to do background without interruption. I will try to cover this left sides, because of course I love to use markers. They really help to color quicker. I think that only books which I managed to finish, it's where I use markers also together with pencils. But I really don't like to watch when we have such spread. My attention always goes to these ugly stains, so for you I will try simply to cover this left side. So here we have the meeting of Mr. Fogherty. It was a pleasure to color all his friends, guests, very lovely. And finally the journey started. That's where I started to pay attention to the eyes of Mr. Snail. For me they both are male friends. Only with eyes R.Hampson managed to show so many emotions of Snail. For me it's totally priceless. So here is a fashionable baggage, and with such color of the sky I try to show that actually we have early morning despite what we have on the clock. So they managed to catch their train from Charing Cross train station in time, surprisingly. In this book we have small differences between first and second parts. In later books differences are bigger, and I decided that if I want to have such a story I will do all pictures in the first part, but there are small changes, and such secondary characters, they are also lovely in the second part. Their first destination was Paris, a very lovely page to do. Nice springtime, and here I am quite proud how I selected colors for the frog's outfit, and also for the how I did the Eiffel Tower. Kudos for R.Hampson for this menu. You probably can't see, but they have escargot and frog's legs in menu, so I think that they really have to worry a little bit. But Mr. Fogherty, he doesn't care because he is so lovely lady. Lovely breakfast also in train, so many nice yummy things here. I decided to add a little bit of marker background. I think that it really added nice touch to this train. That was one of the pages which inspired me the least, because I didn't like this bottom part. This alpine landscape looked lovely, but the bottom part, it looked slightly empty. But in the end I added more stone steps. Now I think that I like it a little bit more. At least he is not hanging in the air. And of course his outfit, it's absolutely priceless. Here is a Venice where I can't say that I'm totally happy how I added background. Maybe because it's slightly unsymmetrical. Maybe I had to be more careful when I added this arch, but color palette is pleasant. I even tried to do with marker this sky like evening in Venice with colorful sky and reflection of such sky in the water. And of course I wish one day I can spend time in similar way, just doing sketches in Venice. Next one we have this lovely romantic meeting, and the worst thing is that here I cover this poor snail. It's such a lovely tiny picture. I wish that we have such pictures on separate page, because here snail is chilling under the sun and Mr. Fogherty has another love interest. Every time it's so fun for me to select different outfits for Mr. Fogherty and for his friends, other characters. Sometimes I try to do something fashionable. Sometimes I deliberately try to select very ridiculous colors for green frog in pink, for example. Well, here he arrived to Egypt and even posed as a pharaoh. It was probably the quickest page in the whole book. This one I can't say that I really love, again because I am not very skilled of doing something like realistic or close to realistic landscapes with markers. Again, my marker sadly finished in this area, so I had to grab similar color. It also didn't help. But, well, I finished it and that's okay. I don't have to love all pictures in similar way. So when they arrived to Taj Mahal to India, I decided to dress Mr. Fogherty in such colors because it's kind of homage to famous picture of Princess Diana, where she has such a dress and suit on her, so that's where I got my inspiration. Strange thing, in this book I totally can't use my white gouache. It looks so thick, it somehow spreads with very thick layer. Well, I need to forget about it. What I can do with gouache in other books, somehow I can't do it here. Well, it's a lovely page, and we actually have such similar subjects of Mr. Fogherty and snail chilling in board in many books. I will show you it when I will do a review of all my finished pictures in R.Hampson. Nice and lovely, and I'm glad that I did at least something apart from traditional blue sky. Oh, that's definitely one of my favorite pictures. Here we have those famous pangolins, which started to be famous after COVID, when they were accused like spreading this virus. But anyway, pangolin here I decided to do in slightly more fantasy way. I added a little bit of greenish tint to the scales to support this very vibrant green color for the tropical forest on top. This one I did with mix of Polychromos Prismacolor pencils. Well, I think that I was quite heavy-handed, so page was damaged slightly, but well, it's still lovely. This one I really love. When I did my color planning, I immediately had this idea of dark background and colorful landscape behind. We have a sad story that Mr. Fogherty missed the board, and poor snail now travel without baggage, without any funds, so it will be challenging part of the story. I absolutely love this pirate, very lovely page. I adore how R.Hampson do compositions, always well balanced, right amount of details, and I'm glad that almost all pictures you can do with like frames. You don't have to think about huge amount of empty background. That was the last page. It wasn't very easy to color because I didn't know how I want to do this central part, the circus. So it was my last project, and in the end I'm quite happy how I did it. Here I deliberately selected ridiculous colors for the green frog in pink suit, but for the circus, for I don't know, for the clown, for the magician in circus, I think that pink is totally acceptable color. Here I actually used several different color softs, and you know that usually color softs, they are demanding to paper quality, but here they really helped me. I love red and sand beige colors from Prismacolor range, from Colorsoft range. Of course, I didn't do any complicated layering, blending, but vibrancy of red and nice sand colors, they really helped me. And definitely for my next pictures, I will try to use Colorsofts more frequently. It was a lovely discovery. It's not the first time when I used Colorsofts in this book, but it reminded me that I need to use them more frequently. I think that it's one of the best pictures here. Lovely sky, where I decided to add a little bit of pink, and I think that it was a nice addition. It somehow supported this pink sakura flowers probably. And the turtle, it's absolutely adorable. I don't know why snail looks so frightened. And I think that it's one of the most fashionable outfits for Mr. Fogherty. That's also a very lovely page. I absolutely love this look of Mr. Fogherty with all those striped blues. So I love to color metals, maybe it's one of the reasons, or maybe I love composition of this one. I had a lot of fun and a lot of a lovely time when I did this one. I colored this one also recently. I had some ideas how I wanted to do it, but as I don't color with markers very frequently, every time it's a challenge for me to select colors which would create nice gradients, and I think that in the end everything worked quite well. Colors for icy water, color of the darker sky, of the slightly lighter sky. So I think that it was my lucky day. I was afraid to do it because part of my blue markers, they are half dry, but well, everything turned quite well in the end. Here I decided that I wanted to play a little bit with unusual colors for sky, and it didn't turn quite well, but those white clouds, it really helped to attract more attention to the bottom part, and somehow it balanced upper and bottom part. Lovely colors of the balloon. That's where I also used a couple of Colorsoft pencils for the inner part of the ship. Very lovely page. Again, because I love to color metals. When I just got the book, I was sure that I will color it in order, but then I stick to that Charing Cross page, and I quickly realized that if I want to have progress in the book, no, if you can't color in order, at least do something you can imagine colors you can color easier. So surprisingly, this finish page where they finish the journey and have the celebration, I did in the beginning actually. So I colored it randomly in this book. Finally, time at home. This one, it's a page where I went a little bit crazy with stencils, but I think that it's okay. I simply think that it was too empty and I didn't particularly like these parts of this frame, so I experimented a little bit with distress inks and with stencil. Also, I have tiny page in the end. I think so, yes. And this is the end. I promised myself that I won't start the second part until I finish this, and now, very happily, I can start to travel with Mr. Fogherty and Mr. Snail through different times. Lovely book. I know that maybe it doesn't have great paper, but I decided that if I combine markers, polychromos and now color softs, I can totally color here. So now I adjusted to the paper, and I absolutely love humor of R.Hampson, and I love to meet pictures with the same characters through his books. It's like we have a story we can imagine how they travel, and for me it's really lovely to color pictures from places which I also visited and which I want to visit one day. I hope that you enjoyed this one. All coloring videos from this book I have on my channel on several playlists, so if you need some inspiration, I will be happy if you watch them. Thank you, and until my next videos.